Hi everyone, my name is Sarah. In today's class, we're going to take a closer look at Canva. This is our second part to a two-part series on graphic design. If you missed the first part, it won't matter for this class. You can always just go back and view that either by going to our website. You'll find it posted there. You'll also find it on our Facebook page. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at si.sarah@4cls.org, or you can call me at 563-1200 and either leave a message if I'm not here or I'll talk to you directly. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can if I'm not here. If you want a copy of the notes that I have from today's class, please feel free to, again, email me or call me, and I'll make sure you get those. Let's get started. We're going to, like I said, primarily take a look at Canva. So if you type in canva.com, you'll be instructed to sign up. And you can do so using your Gmail account, your Facebook account, or you can start up with a different email. So if you don't have Gmail or Facebook, that's not a problem. You can just go ahead and sign up with your regular email. If you already have an account, just sign in with your password. Some folks might already be familiar with Canva, but if not, go ahead and set that up. Pause this video if you want, or you can wait till later. I don't know if some of you might be able to work off your phone, watching the video and playing with Canva at the same time on a desktop or a laptop. So once you're in Canva, you can select a template and get started, or you can start a graphic from scratch. Now, you can see these images below on this page, and most of those were done with templates. I think all of those were done with templates, which can be really handy. So this one had all different pictures in it, and I just tailored it to reflect our summer vacation. Once you're in Canva, you have the option of using the free version, or you can upgrade for a fee, like I said. So there are 6 basic steps to create visual content. I mentioned these in the last class, but they also apply to working with Canva. First thing you want to do is begin with your intended purpose. So you want to know, is it going to be an invitation to a wedding, or a flyer for a bake sale, a newsletter, a resume? When we get into Canva, I'll show you how many templates there are available. It's really quite amazing. If your primary objective is to let people know about a public fundraising event, you'll want to create print media and social media posts. Otherwise, you might just want to make cards for people, or do either or, have it shared on Facebook or have it printed. For my classes, I will create an event on Facebook using an image from Canva, typically, that I've put together. And then I will also create a poster that I can use in the library to put up on the bulletin board. Now, because we've been closed so much, I haven't been doing that as much, but for the month of September, I have created posters as well. But you can do flyers, social media isn't limited to just Facebook. You can do a number of different social media sites. So we'll go over that once we're actually in Canva. What you want to do then is browse the templates to find what you're looking for, or if you have a really good idea in your mind and you have some photos that you want to upload, you can do that and create a product from scratch. Again, find photos that you want to upload and you can go ahead and use those. This is a resume that I put together, and I did use a template for that. A lot of these will go ahead and recreate on Canva so that you can see how it's done. Then you create the text that you want displayed in your project. In this example, there are 2 different text boxes under this Sydney Memorial Public Library image. There's the Sydney Memorial Public Library, and then the second one, Public Computing Center, free tech classes. And you can do as many boxes as you want. This one down here has 2 different ones as well. It says get well soon, and then I don't remember what it says underneath there, but again, it's a separate text box. You can also use filters and transparencies to change the background image. I don't know if you see how dark this picture is on top, and then the middle picture of the computer, Sydney Memorial Public Library free tech classes. It's a lot more faded, and I just used some of that transparency and photo enhancing options. And then this is just a basic text box with different boxes behind it. So this is kind of you could use that as a business card if you wanted to. It doesn't have to say Sydney Memorial Public Library, of course. I just did that for demonstration purposes. And then let's go ahead and go right to Canva and start building some things. So here we are already in Canva. Let me show you what it looks like when you pull it up for the first time. Oh, it's just going to get into my account because I'm already signed in. Sorry about that. It will just come up with a screen that gives you different login options, and you can just choose one and create your account. It's really very simple. So this is the home page, and you'll see all of these various options. They're considered recommended for you. You can see that it's highlighted here. But if you scroll down, you'll see some of my designs that I've done, and then a whole bunch of examples of different products that you can create. And these are made using the templates. So I'm going to go slowly so that you can see some of these. And then if you don't want to choose from here, so you can choose your format through this section where you see Instagram posts, Facebook, flyers, logos, etc. You can also do the same thing up here. See how it's sort of repeated? You can type in a design or a concept that you're looking for, or you can go up to templates. And here you can see how many templates there are. And in each one of these sections are subsections and then onward from there. So let's say I go into personal and I want to make a card. I'm clicking on card and your templates will come up. There we go. And here are some different options. I don't know if you saw here, I can create a blank card. I'm actually just going to go ahead and create a blank card. And then it brings you to the screen where you can actually design. And you can see here again, it gives you all kinds of options. If you changed your mind and you don't want to do it completely from scratch, you can go ahead and click on something that's already started. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see areas where you can click on the templates, and that will bring you back to this spot. You can click on uploads. Now I've uploaded some pictures, and for various things that I've done, that's what those are. But you can use those in your design. There are photos that are available also through Canva. So as you're looking through the photos, you can fill in the card. You see how I just kind of changed that center section and put in a different photo. Congratulations on your new baby boy. Now, that might be appropriate with a dog. Somebody might be excited to have just gotten a new puppy. Or you can look up here and search and type in baby, and you'll get pictures of babies. So if you'd rather have that, now the picture behind it is still there. You might have to move things around in order to put that new picture in. Another thing you can do is you can resize what's on the background. Oh, that didn't work quite as I anticipated. See, it just takes a little bit of fiddling. These are individual little graphics, so sorry about that, but you can move them around however you'd like. So if you want to have a couple of these on your photo, but not the rest, you can go ahead and delete them and bring up your picture and then pull these in front. You may have to. Okay, so I'm going to click off of that. I want this image. And you see here where all I did was right click on that image, and you can bring that image forward. Let's bring it all the way forward, bring it to the front, and that way it's on the front of your little photo of that cute little baby. You can move it around however you'd like, and you just do that with all of them. So I'm bringing them to the front just to continue on with that little theme of the diaper pins. You can even rotate these. So you see here on the screen where there is that arrow, and you can have them going in different directions. You can size them up and down. All depends on what you like. Now, the nice thing about Canva is you never have to worry about losing something that you've created because it's already saving it. All changes are saved automatically. So if I go back to the home page, which is just clicking on that home, and I go down to my designs, it will show up under my designs. All I have to do if I want to keep working on it is click on it again and go ahead and play around with it. So it's pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and make some of the designs. Let me show you some that I prepared ahead of time. This is the resume that I did, and I really didn't change a lot of the information inside. I'll show you the original template, but I did put the person's name and the job that they're looking for. And in this one, this is a newsletter, and it's a template for a newsletter, so it will have the date of the issue number. You go ahead and put in whatever information you want. This is a photo that I uploaded. I think you might have seen that. Let's go into this design. And when I did uploads, oh, he's not there anymore. Photos. Oh, well, it must be a stock photo from their collection then. Some of the other designs I used my own photos. And this is an example of a menu flyer that is threefold, so you can kind of see how that would be folded into 3 portions with all their information. And just a simple get well card. Then I also have some that are considered images, and that's the summer vacation one. And then this is a book sale. So if a library were having a book sale or a bookstore was having a special book sale, that's what that was for. There's an Easter card, and then that graphic there. So I'm going to go ahead and close these down so they're not in our way. And we'll go ahead and keep working on Canva. All right, so now we're back to the home page, and we're going to take a look at this template and I'm sorry, this resume, which again I said I used as a template for that. And as we go back to the page where we can work, I have already added a second page and put the original template in. So you can kind of see the difference and the things that I changed. I softened this text up a little bit so that it was just not quite as hard looking as this. That was my feeling about it. And I didn't really change much of this information, but I did change the background just to give it a little bit more texture and I don't know, I just thought it was a little bit more fun. In order to do that, you just go to your background tab on the left-hand side and you can play around with whatever features you like. So here I clicked on that and it changed it a little bit. If I want to go back, all I need to do is click on this back arrow and it gives me that. Now this is kind of a cloudscape. Let's see if I can find it again. I did look through for a while, playing with different things, just to get different effects. And, well, I'll replace it with that, and then I'll show you how you can change the saturation of it or the transparency of it. You go over to the thing that looks like a little quilt, and all you need to do is hover on these, and you can click on the one that's marked transparency, and you can just go ahead and lighten it up or keep it dark, depends what you like. I kind of like it to be a little bit of color but not too much. And that's pretty much it. Now there are a number of boxes on this page. You can lock those boxes in place with, okay, see how I clicked in this box here? I can ungroup that. That's been grouped, which means that several boxes have been grouped together to be one box. I can change the position of it, I can copy it, or I can lock it, which is what that little lock is. And that means that when I'm playing around on here, I'm not going to accidentally do something like that. I don't know if you can see that, but I tilted the text box. Thankfully, undo is our friend, and we don't have to worry about that. So you can see it's quite simple to use a template and do whatever you want with it. This text box, you can go ahead and change the font. Up here at the top of the screen, just above your graphic, you'll see the font name, the size. You can change the color on it. So if I wanted to make the font purple, I can go ahead and make it purple. I can do italics, I can underline it, and I can change where it is inside that box. So here it's centered, here it's full right, and here it's full left. I could even make it a list if I wanted to. That doesn't look so good, but that's okay. So we'll undo. I'm just going to get it back to its original. There we go. And if I want to change the actual font, I go under the box that has the name of the font. The one that you're currently using will be checked, but if you want to change it to Arima Madurai medium, you can go ahead and do that. I'm sorry, I'm not great at pronouncing some of them. I haven't practiced much. This is Play Fair Display, and you can just play around with what you feel you're the most comfortable with. And as soon as you have the check mark next to it, you know that it's been changed. And you can see here, sometimes by changing the font, you're going to need to change where that text is in the box. So I'm going to, let's see, this is two separate text boxes inside one, so I'm actually going to ungroup that because it looks like this one is there also. Oops. Let's ungroup that. I'm trying to grab just the top one, so let me send backwards. Oh, well, sometimes it takes a little bit of fiddling, as you can see, but just stick with it. I don't know if you can see that there's this large D here. So probably what's going to be best is if I go back to a font that did not do that. We'll get rid of that one. Get rid of that. Keep that one. I think it was this one originally. So let's go back to that and see how it fits well inside that box, that text box. Now, this one. Oh, it is grouped. It is all one box, even though when you click on it, it looks like more than one box. So we'll just go ahead and group it. Now, I showed you about the background. All of these are just text boxes and you can do with them as you please. This is again a multiple text box sort of laid over atop itself. and you just play around with it. Let's go look for another design. I'm just going back to the home page. Waiting. And let's pick one just from the options here. If you would like to do a flyer, let's say you are raising money for going back to school. So it looks like up to 50% off. This must be in their store. But I was thinking it would be nice to have a flyer that is about donating school materials. So if you want to change that, you go ahead and let's change this text box. Looks pretty teeny tiny there. So I think I'll increase the size of the font so that we can see it a little bit better, maybe even a little more. And we can always move the box up and down however you like. But I'm going to say donate donations. Oh, sorry about that. Somehow I hit the box with my sleeve. It always happens when you are least expecting. All right, now I'm going to highlight Larson's and type in donations to our bookstore. All right, donations to our bookstore. Let's go. Get ready for school. And instead of it saying back to school sale on the bottom, I don't know if you can see that little box that I just moved around. You just need to click inside and make sure that you can highlight your text. But back to school, how about fundraiser? And get ready for school. Let's go. On the back of this, you can, in this text box, I'm just going to say drop off any new items today. I'm not really thinking through a lot of what I'm typing. I'm just kind of typing. And it looks like that has gone over the box below it. So let's reduce the size of it a little bit. Let's make that, okay, that's not too bad. And you just pull the box up a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I did, but we're looking for books, notebooks, pens, office supplies, etc. Now let's say you did not like the graphic, this picture on the front page. Let's go to Photos, and I'm going to type in books. Actually, I might do back to school. I think that would be better. All right, so let's look through these images, and it looks like there are certainly some fun ones. Now, I don't know if you can see that in this picture, it says remove watermarks, but in our selection area for back to school images, this little crown pops up and it says Pro next to it. That means that there's a fee to use it, so you just don't want to use those. You look for the ones that are free, and there will be plenty of those. Let's find one that is free. Anything that doesn't kind of pop up with that watermark. All right, there we go. Got rid of that picture, and we're going to do that one instead because it's free, because we don't want to have to spend money on our flyer as we are trying to raise money or materials for the students. And if we don't like yellow as our background, if we want, say, blue, just above where it says recently used and all results, you'll see this color palette. And you can go ahead and scroll through those and pick a different color. And if you don't care for that, you just keep checking. Change it. I like that one. I also like the green. Let's make it the turquoise color. So we'll need to change it on this one as well. Oops, wrong color. Where'd we go? Let's look for, there it is. Nope. I guess I'm going to need to scroll backwards, and now we have it. Sorry about that. And again, if you don't like the color red in these areas, you can always change that. And let's see, let's change the color of our text. So you go to your text section. Actually, if you wanted to say something different, you can do that, but just, there we are, up here. Sorry about that. Let's see what dark blue looks like. Where'd it go? So there's dark blue. I think I like the red. You just want to make sure that you highlight it. And we'll go back to red for both of those. There we go. I hope I'm not confusing you by kind of clicking around. I did do one other thing. I went into this text box area, but now let's look at the elements. If maybe we want to jazz this up a little bit with a couple of little cute things just to draw the eye. These remind me of stickers, and there will be several sections of things that you can use. I like the little ones. These stickers that move are great for social media posts, so that they just kind of pop up with different, like here, you can see this cat winks. If I put the cat there, he's winking. See that? So that's kind of fun to use. But there are a number of different ones. Let's see if we do school, what comes up. So we get all kinds of little stickery graphics that we can put anywhere that we'd like. Let's put this one on this page. You just kind of click and drag it. Oh, sadly, that's one of those pro ones. These also, you just need to check and make sure that they won't cost you money. Doesn't look like this well. So you can click and drag, or you can click, hold and drag to the page, or you can click on it and it will just show up on the page. So I'm going to put this cute little image in here just to fill in this spot there. Or you can move it over to the other side. It just depends how you feel about the balance of your page. You see how easy it is to just go ahead and play around and do fun things with your graphics. So there's our flyer. Now, as I said, if we go back to the home page, this will already be saved. I don't have to worry about it. If I did want to download it, I'll come back. It's headed back to the home page. All right, so let's click on it again. And here we are back at that page. Up here in the right-hand corner, you can click on download, and it will ask what file type you want. So if you don't want a PNG or PNG, which is like a photo, that's what they recommend. But if you wanted it in a different format, you just pick out that format before you go ahead and download it. I'm not going to go ahead and do that because I don't need to keep this, but you can also share it if you want to. And over here, you can choose different options for sharing and different ways you might want to print it. Now, if you choose a print option, Canva will go ahead and print it for you, which can be really nice. And you can order, let's say you're making a wedding invitation, you can go ahead and create it, and then you can have them print the cards out for you so that you don't have to find a separate place to go ahead and do that. All right, let's try one or two more. I'm thinking we will go to the social media area, and actually I can show you that this image that says virtual story time and this image that says Untitled Design, that's actually the library. These are different things that I have posted on, that I've either created for the library to post on their Facebook page or their website. This was something that the library had, a program that we had earlier in the summer, and so that was, I think it was during the summer. Let me see. Yep, May 29th. So this music, they're musicians, they came virtually through a program at the library. They were not live. So, so anyway, those are examples of some of the social media things. I'd like to actually go ahead and create a social media post. Let's do Facebook, just because, well, I mean, you could do a Pinterest graphic. We could go ahead and do that. Facebook, you'll notice in your templates that you have the option to do a post or a cover, and that's because, generally speaking, they're different sizes. You can also resize your graphic to be whatever you need. So this is for Pinterest. If you've ever been on Pinterest, you know that sometimes you'll see just an image of, I don't know, let's say cookies, and somebody has baked cookies. And so you click on that because you're interested in looking at the recipe. Then sometimes you'll find graphics like this one that says 50 ideas for birthday parties. And the great thing about that is, on Pinterest, that means that you can have a bunch of different items associated with that. And you do that through Pinterest. And if you want to create a, let's just pick that one. And it's giving you options. You can go ahead and click on colors, celebration, how you want to make it, and then there are some different photos that you can go ahead and select. But let's just open the template and go ahead and play around with it. Now, I have to admit, I've not ever done a graphic for Pinterest, so I'm not as familiar with that. I've seen tons of them, I just have never posted anything on Pinterest. But let's say we wanted to change this graphic. Let's go ahead and look at some photos, and why don't we type in food, and we'll keep it food related. Or should we do baked goods? Maybe bakery. That didn't work. Baked goods. Ooh, look at all those yummy things. I don't know what I did here, so let's get rid of that. Now, should we put, because it's not a very big image, but we want lots of things to be in there. Again, you need to look through these pictures because a lot of them are pro, but like that is not. So we can get rid of this and fill. I'm going to fill in that center section. I don't know if you see what happened when I deleted. It filled in the left. Well, so when I deleted the picture from it, it gave me the background template. So if I did that with all of these, you would just get 3 separate little areas to fill in. So let's say I want to put these yummy looking cookies in this section. It automatically fills it in. Let's find, what are these? I'm not sure what those are. Danish, maybe? Ooh, and pies. I do like a good pie. So I'm not sure I like that middle one, let's see if we can find something a little bit more fun. And that one is a pro, so I'm not going to use that. Aw, cute puppy. So you just kind of scroll through. Let's look for desserts instead. See if maybe there's something a little bit different. I like those cupcakes. See how I'm just dragging it in place? If you click on it, it will give you a bigger image, and you can do the same thing by moving it around. See how it replaced that one? But I'm going to undo that and undo. And actually, I like this, the colors of that to go along with those beautiful cupcakes. Let's find something else that works a little bit better here instead of the pies, even though I do like pies. There's some more macarons. Let's put those over here. So our shop basically does macarons, which are what these cookies are, and cupcakes. And 50 ideas for birthdays. You can just change that however you like. You can add a second page. Do anything that you find to be fun. Whoops. Undo, undo. I'm going to move that into this spot. There we go. Well, you know, when you're creating an image, I don't know if this happens to you, but you look at it and you look at it, you change it, you play around with it a little bit until you're finally satisfied. And that's perfectly fine. That's why I said you could play around with this for hours. And at first you might find it a little fiddly, but don't get discouraged because it all comes together in the end. You just keep playing with it. Sorry. Keep moving that image. And let's see, one more. I wish I could ask you what you would like to practice with, but you're not here. So let's see. Animated social media, that's pretty fun. Let's say you were doing a YouTube page, or you have a YouTube channel and you want to make a thumbnail for that. You can go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to make one for music. Oh, I thought that said music. So this is Novels of the Heart, I think because he plays an instrument. Let's do a background, a different background photo. And we won't use food. Let's scroll through this. Those are some of the things that I've looked at. How about nature? Let's look at nature and see. Ooh, that's beautiful. All right. Oh. So if you wanted that in your background instead of the other, you would basically have to replace this one. That looks like a background image to me as I'm playing around with it, although I've not seen one before, or that particular one before. Let's try and change the background and see what happens. Yep. So the image on that of the person with the electric guitar, that is a background image, and so you can either leave it or change it. And that one looks like it's not free. If it says it has watermarks, it means it's not free. So I'm going to change it to that. I kind of like that look, but I am going to change the color of the lettering to be white, just so that you can see it. And I'm even going to change that to white. Oops. That's the fun part of doing this, is you don't always end up with what you think you're going to end up with. So I'm going to ungroup that image, see if I can just click on that. Oh, I don't want to move it. I want to change the color of it. There we go. Now I can go ahead and in order to group something, you put your cursor kind of up in the corner and you highlight both boxes. Can you see how I highlighted that? And you click group, but I'm not going to do that because I just noticed that when I was playing around with it, I moved this bottom box a little bit. Right now you can't see my hands, but I'm moving it very slowly using the left arrow key. Now I'm going to go ahead and group them. So I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to go ahead and lock it so that no matter what, I can't mess that up. See how I can't move it around anymore? If I want to move it, all I have to do is unlock it, and you can see that it's right there. And then if I wanted to put some books in there because it's Novels of the Heart, let's do books. Oops. You have to only put in the word that you want, not two at once. Okay, let me see how that looks. That's not going to work. We want something that we can kind of put in the background and not have it. I think that might work. Let me just change its size a little bit. You do that by grabbing the corner of it and just drawing it down. And then if I wanted to fill the space just a little bit more, again, I'm grabbing the corners and just changing the size of it a tiny bit. And I'm also going to go up here to the transparency, and just so some of that background color shows through. Do you see how I faded that just a little bit? Here, I'll show you at a, oh, I'm in the background, so I'm going to undo that. I want to be in this picture, transparency. So that's at 73. If I wanted to darken it up again, I just go all the way up to 100. But I do like that 73. See, if you do too much, you kind of lose too much of the book, but it really is according to your personal taste. I'll leave it at 69 there. And you can also filter, so you can change maybe, do you see how it took the blue away of the background? That's kind of a neat effect. That's under filter. The effects you can go into. It does, some of those are again part of the Pro. You can adjust the saturation in this box under adjustment. You can crop it however you like. You can even flip it if you want to turn it upside down. Now all I did was turn the background upside down, and I'm actually not going to because I don't need to do that. But like, let's say I clicked on that and oh, that's locked, so I can't do anything with that. But if I flip the books, that's what happens. So there you go with that. I really think I like it in that color, sort of the purplies and blues. So let's go to our home page, purples and blues, sorry, and look at some of the things that we've done so far. This one, the 50, I think it's 50 ideas for birthdays. I don't really love that cover or those images together. I think it's too many. So I wonder if we can get rid of and just do let me undo that. If I can just go ahead and all right, I'm going to go into photos and go to food again. Let's do, I think it was desserts that I found, those cookies. And I am going to take this one away and replace the two boxes. Oh, it doesn't look like I can in this template replace the two boxes. So I might just go ahead and get rid of that whole thing and replace it with just the one image, make it a little bit bigger. The other one seemed just too busy to me. I don't know if you can see as I'm moving the picture around, there are guidelines that appear that really give you a good idea of where it should fit. And I am going to change, I'm going to crop this image just a little bit to highlight the cookies that much more. And then you go ahead and you click on done, and it just changed it up a little bit. Let's make that a little bigger. So as you can see, I could fiddle with this for days. And I'm sure that you could too. But so that's basically how you go ahead and work in Canva. Again, it isn't very confusing. It's not hard. There are so many options to choose from. The school option is kind of fun for those who are learning from home this year, or even just doing some partial learning from home. But there are templates for lesson plans, there are worksheet plans, storyboards, everything that a teacher might want to kind of jazz up what they're doing, to send out to the kids, or even just to keep yourself organized. I was a homeschooler. I homeschooled my son and did that for kindergarten all the way up through his graduation. I loved organizational things. I still do. So if I had known about Canva back then, I think I would have had a lot of fun and may not have gotten much done preparing, but I would have been organized and had great designs for that organization. Help yourself to any of these ideas. Go ahead and play around with them. If you want to, again, as I said at the beginning, if you want my notes, I'm happy to share them. If you have questions, I'm also happy to answer any questions that you might have. I hope you enjoyed this time. It is a little difficult to follow along as I'm clicking through. I hope that I was clear in showing you a lot of the features. Let me just go over this left-hand side once more. You can find your templates. Uploads are photos that you've uploaded. So if I wanted to replace this image of the pencils with an image of a dog, I go ahead and click on that and move the dog into place. You should also be able to move that right over the top so that you've got it centered, and then you can size it however you want. And again, play around with it. But these are some images that I've uploaded. So templates, uploads, photos are all the photos that you can possibly want. Again, make sure that you're not looking at the pro ones because those do cost money. And your elements, here you have your text options. So you can add a heading, subheading, body of the text. You can even take one of these if you want to make a thank you card. Oh, there it is. It did show up. This one's actually kind of nice because, let me get rid of that photo. You can see come on. I'm trying to get it to move, so I'm going to use my arrow keys. But the nice thing is there's no background to it. Even though it's black here, there's no actual background. So if I go ahead and change it to sparkle, you got sparkle there. I'm going to go back and keep our original. Now, if you do end up changing something, a graphic, and you don't want to, just go ahead and do, undo until you get back to what you want, because it will save any changes that you've made. If you want to do a new page and kind of start from some of the basics that you have here, you can go ahead and do that uh, pretty easily by just adding a page here. There's a little plus sign, or you can get rid of it with a little delete. And then there are videos that you can add to your page. There, again, the backgrounds, you can change the background images, and you can create folders. There's also a more section, which gives you a number of other possible features. I haven't played with those too much though. I tell you, I can just keep doing this for hours. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in our next class. Okay, I wanted to just come back on for a minute and move the camera screen from this top portion of the page on Canva, because I realized in reviewing it and editing it that you weren't actually able to see these icons, and they're pretty important. So I had spoken about transparency, and that is this little grid here, and that can be very useful. So I wanted to make sure I pointed that out to you. And that's where the lock is, and that locks the image so that nothing can be done to it. You can go ahead and unlock it and make all the changes that you like. So I'm very sorry about that. Through the class, you weren't able to see those things, but now you can actually see where I was. And if you right click on some of those, you can see that you can make more changes, and you might not have been able to see that as either. So, alrighty, I just wanted to finish up with that so that you could see those icons. Again, sorry about that, and I'll see you next time.